Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Band Practice. I'm Emma.
And I'm Madison, and today we're going to be doing an episode all about our process of setting goals and some of the goals that we have in mind for the upcoming month of June, because it's already June somehow, which I know, like everybody says this every month. They're like, oh my gosh, how is it already insert month? Like, yeah, we know how months work, but seriously, how is it almost June? Like,
No,
it
this
doesn't
is
make
like the
sense.
worst one yet.
Yes. To prepare for this episode, I was looking back at like all of my goals that I set at the beginning of the year and stuff, and I was like, okay, something's not adding up. Like, how are we halfway through the year?
I
It's
know.
sickening.
It really is. And especially this month, I just, I just paid rent for May. What do you mean I
Right?
have to pay rent for June now? I'm not prepared for this.
Yeah, it really sneaks
Um,
up on you every time. We act like
yeah,
they're not
looking up,
all 28 to 31 days. We're like, whoa, oh my
and I'm
gosh, how
like,
did this
whoa, whoa,
happen?
whoa. They're switching up on me. No, but like you said, looking back at my year goals for 2023, I am like, wait, so you mean to tell me I'm supposed to be almost like halfway to some of these? That's
Uh-huh.
interesting.
Yeah, we have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
We have
We'll
our
see
work cut
about
out
that
for
one.
us.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Quarter three and
I've
quarter four,
been
they're gonna be our moment.
yeah, time to grind. I've been just off my A game, I think. May was just rough because I was, sick for half of it and it just I don't know, something about it was just weird and the vibes were off, but so I'm like excited to like reset my intentions, like get back into the swing of things for June.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same. There was nothing in particular that was standing in my way. It just got away from me. Like I
Yeah.
had the right intentions, I had the right mindset, and then I was just like, oh, well, none of that happened. So
Classic.
yeah, but like you said, I like to kind of like set my intentions at the beginning of the month, and it's always like
Mhm.
a good refresh or like a clean slate to just be like, okay, last month that happened, but like we're moving forward. And
Yeah,
yeah, I feel like that's what this episode is going to be for us. And I'm very excited to chit chat.
me too.
What have you been up to? I know I literally just saw you a couple days ago, but
Yeah.
anything new?
Yeah, so Madison was in town visiting, so we got to, do a little shopping, get some lunch. So that was really fun. Anything new? Oh goodness. I started watching Real Housewives of Beverly Hills again. It's so hard when you like want to get into a show that already has so many seasons and I'm like I can't just
Mm-hmm.
like I want to just watch the new season, but I am going to miss so much context. So, I started from the beginning sometime last year. I'm in season 4 now out of 13. We're going to see how far
Whoa.
I can get before I get sick of it again. I know. I'll get there in like a few years. I'll eventually catch up. But so yeah, that's been kind of fun and it just feels summery to me. Like reality TV is just a summer vibe in my opinion.
For sure.
So, kind of what I've been doing. And oh, the Kardashians started again.
Oh, really? I saw like the
Yeah.
teaser, but I didn't know when it actually came out. Did you
Yeah,
watch
the
the new
first
episode?
episode started. Yeah, it's, same as always.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll watch just to know.
I know. I do like to keep up with the Kardashians, but
Yeah.
I watched like a little bit of the last season and it was like not as juicy as I was wanting.
Mhm. I feel that. Yeah, I love like my life updates lately have just been like what shows I'm watching, but unfortunately that's just the way it goes. That's just the way it goes. Oh, well, Laura and I have been having fun and like cooking a lot, so that's been nice. She made me bolognese last night. I've never had like a proper bolognese and it was delicious. So that was fun. And then, yeah, Brandon has obviously been on his sourdough game and he made a really great loaf over the weekend. Um, so, yeah, that's another fun little life update.
What Laura made was what you posted last night, right? Or was that
Mm-hmm.
another night? Last night? Yeah. No, it
Yeah,
looked so
last night.
yummy. And you guys made cutie little cocktails or some
Oh,
sort of
yeah, we've
yummy
been in our
drink.
cocktail game. Oh my gosh. We just made like jalapeno pineapple margaritas. It was like a pre-made
Ooh.
thing, but we like
Uh-huh.
rimmed it with like tahini and it was so yummy. But it was
The presentation
strong.
was there.
Thank you. That's like the fun part. Like Laura will like make the drink and I'll like do like the glasses and all of that. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, that drink was strong. It was like 2 in the afternoon and I was like, whoa, I need to lay down.
Oh, that's funny. Was it better than the margaritas that we had together? Emma and I had a margarita over
No,
the weekend.
the
No.
margarita at Takaya, the passion fruit is like the best drink I've like ever had. That was so delicious. It's funny because we were kind of like getting antsy. We were giving a little care, and I was like, "What is taking so long?" Like we got our food before we got our drinks, but it was worth the wait. It was delightful.
Yeah, the bartender really, really went in on it. He snapped.
Yeah, he
It was
did.
worth the wait.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, well, that's fun. I did want to try Brandon's sourdough, but it was not ready. I've never
Yeah.
made sourdough, but it has to like ferment, I
Oh yeah,
assume, or
it's
like a whole
quite the long
process.
process. Yeah,
Yeah, but maybe
next
next.
time.
Oh, wait, did I tell you that I'm coming back in 2 weeks?
Brie told me.
Oh, well, okay.
She said that we should all have a sleepover when you're here in 2 weeks. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, my brother was supposed to babysit my parents' dog Zoe, and he's gonna be out of town or something. So my mom was like, "Please, like, I need a babysitter for Zoe." Zoe's like my parents' baby. Like, she would not trust just anyone. You were her first choice, but I was like,
Yeah,
I'll take
yeah,
it into my own hands. I'll come back. So I am coming back in 2 weeks. It was a very quick trip this time, and I was kind of like sad because we only had 2 full days and there was like family and friends and things to do and lots of people to see. So I was feeling like I didn't get time. Like, I only had one day with you, which that was half my time, but one day, quite frankly, just isn't enough.
yeah.
So
Just
I
isn't
was
gonna cut it.
feeling it's not going to cut it. So I was feeling kind of sad, but then we planned that and I was like, oh, okay, I'm coming right back. It'll be fine.
I love it. I'm so excited. Yeah, I remember the struggle of that when I lived in Flagstaff and I'd come into town. Like sometimes I'd have to just not even tell people that I was coming because like you only have so much time and everyone
Mm-hmm.
wants to like do like this big plan with you and it's like, oh, it's a lot. So I totally understand.
Yeah, I didn't even post really that I was in town because I didn't want like random people asking to hang out. I'm like,
Mm.
I only have time for my day ones. Like, please, nobody else. And I had to like hang out in groups, like
Hmm.
stagger my people. It was a lot. I feel like I don't have that many friends, but then I was like, oh, I guess people wanna
Yeah,
see
you're
me.
booked and busy. So
It was fun though. It was a good trip. And then yeah, that was what I did for the weekend. That's my life update.
just sipping.
Well, I forgot I had this. I bought this the other day and then I never drank it. But I am sipping on a whole liter of Mountain Valley sparkling water. Have you had this specific water?
I have not.
Oh, it's so good. I'm like not a big sparkling water gal. Like I don't really I'll drink a LaCroix or like stuff like that, but I don't like love it. But this water, it is genuinely scrumptious. Like sparkling water has never tasted so
Okay.
delicious. Love just like the aesthetic of the bottle
I
and
was
just
gonna
like
say like
oh,
you need a picture for our feed. It matches with our green theme.
it does.
And
Yes. No,
your
that's my favorite
crochet
water.
headphones.
Yeah. Oh, I'm kind of matching the water.
Make a little, yeah, give us a flat lay later.
Mm-hmm. I will, most definitely. What are you drinking?
So I found this at the grocery store yesterday. I don't know if this is a new flavor. You might know. It's new to me, but cherry cola Olipop.
Ooh, I think it is new. I think I saw them post it a little bit
Okay.
ago.
They also had cream sodas, which I hadn't seen, and I grabbed some of those too. But it's okay. I mean, here's my thing. Olipop, their flavors sound good, and then I drink it and I'm like, they're all tasting the same to me, and none of them are tasting like what they're labeled. So I'm a Poppy stan. Olipop is like, I don't know. It still draws me in, especially the packaging is just cute. But it's just like it's not giving cherry cola. So I don't know why they said that, but it's okay.
Hmm. I haven't had that one, and I have you tried the cream soda? I've been wanting to try that one, but I haven't been able to find it.
Not yet, but I'll probably try it with dinner tonight. I'm sure that one will be good. I feel like you can't really screw that one up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you'll have to let me know though. I'm the same way. I like just finally admitted to myself that Poppy's better. I think I talked about this before, but
Yeah.
Olipop, the vibe, I feel like is just more me. Like the packaging and all the flavors are
Mhm.
so fun. But I had to be real. I had to be real with myself and be like, Poppy's just better, and that's okay.
It's okay. It's okay to say. And I'll still drink my Olipops, but
Yeah, of course.
only when I'm really in the mood for like that prebiotic taste. So,
Yeah, it has a little vinegar
yep.
aftertaste.
Yeah.
But that's fine. You win some, you lose some.
Oh, so I just wanted to say like while we're like doing like our little intro to the episode, like for me, goal setting is really helpful. Like I don't feel like I don't know, some people maybe aren't super into like always having a goal or like always like working towards something, but for me, it just creates like a structure to make sure that I keep up with habits that make me feel better about myself and like my life, and I just feel more secure and like centered, grounded, and just productive. So goals don't always have to be like this big, like outrageous plan. Like it can just be something to kind of guide you and help you kind of frame your ideal lifestyle.
Yeah, I feel the same way. And I've been seeing like a big pushback in the wellness or like self help kind of circles of people being like, you don't always need to have something to work on. You don't always need to be working on yourself. Like sometimes it's okay to just chill. And I do think that's true, but also like there's so many different areas that you can set goals in. Like you could set a
Mm-hmm.
goal of like, I want to relax more, or like I want to sit in the
Yeah,
sun for 30 minutes a day. Like I feel like having something to work towards is really helpful. Maybe it's just my personality type, but I do like having something, even if it's literally a goal to like relax more or take more time for myself. Like I
mm-hmm.
do like to have something to focus on and just feel like I'm getting better and growing as a person. It's just like, yeah, it is important to me.
Exactly. And like we always say, it's the Virgo in us.
Mm. It is such Virgo vibes, especially
Mm-hmm.
I actually planned my whole month today before we recorded this so I could like take note of my actual process and
Right.
like just go through the motions of things to remind myself. And I was like, wow, this is a little bit insane. Like I don't think everyone would like to do this, but that's what works for me and that's okay. So with
Exactly.
this episode, disclaimer, trigger warning, we are Virgos. If you don't want to do all of this, you can make it work for you and just take bits and pieces because we are a little bit intense.
Like I'm mapping out every little detail of my life, unfortunately, but that's what makes me happy. It's all about figuring out what's like gonna work best for you and keep you moving forward in like a healthy way.
Yes. I feel like everybody has different strengths, and our strength is planning everything down to the detail. But if your strength is like just kind of going with the flow, maybe you just take a moment to yourself every morning and plan just for that day. Me personally,
Yeah.
I will be planning out the whole entire month, but different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
So a few like general concepts before we get into our actual process. I think something before you even start setting goals, it's really important to kind of narrow down like the root of your motivation or your intention behind the goal. I think that a lot of people just like willy nilly set goals that they've seen other people post about or like their friends are doing. And it doesn't really like necessarily pertain to what they value or what's important to them in like that phase of their life. So I think it's important to be super intentional when you're setting goals because that will like give you a better success rate. If you're just setting something to set something and it doesn't actually like speak to you, then it's kind of just pointless and you're probably not going to follow through. And even if you do follow through, it's probably not going to be like that fulfilling. I think for me, the most fulfilling goals are ones that I like think really hard about and like think about
Mm-hmm.
why I want to do it and what's my motivation. And I think the closer you get to like the root of your intention, the more meaningful it is to you. Like anybody could say, "Oh, I want to work out 5 times a week," and then you can say, "Why?" "Oh, because I want to be healthy." And it's like, yeah, true, but like, why do you want to be healthy? Like, I think you should really think
Mm-hmm.
about it and like think about it from all different angles and different perspectives.
For sure. No, I love that. And I feel like those intentions are what are going to keep you going when like the motivation does get lost because I think another big thing with goals is like figuring out what keeps you in check when like the motivation fades, because you're not going to be motivated every single day to like show up for yourself. But if you like remain grounded in your intention and your why, then it's easier to like practice that discipline, I feel like.
Yeah, that's such a good point. I think a lot of people think that people who are super productive or like are always working on goals, they are always motivated. And so that can be
Right.
kind of daunting. Like you're like, well, I'm not always motivated. Like they're just built different. I don't know how I'm supposed to be like that. But the
Mm-hmm.
truth is that like you're never going to be motivated every single day, every single hour of every single day. At some point, like you said, you have to go back to your intention and think about why, and just like we've talked about this in episodes past too, doing things out of self-love and like getting back to the root of no, this is what I deserve. Like I want to do this for myself. That will power you forward even when you're not motivated.
Exactly.
Another thing I think is important is that every month is different. Think about like what my month looks like. If it's super chaotic, if it's super busy, if I'm traveling, if I'm like spending more time on work, I think it's kind of important to like be able to pivot. And like for example, this next month, like I know I'm going to be out of town for 2 weekends, and so that's like important to take into account and pre-plan for, so that you can reach your goals and maybe like make adjustments along the way, instead of like just being super strict with yourself and being like, no, I need to do this. Like one goal that I want to do that I will not be doing this month is like a low spend month, or like a no frivolous spending month, like only the necessities. But that's just not going to
Mm-hmm.
happen this month because I'm traveling and I'm going to want to do fun
Yeah.
stuff. um and so, yeah, I think it is helpful to look at your month like kind of overall before you get started, so you can just be honest and be like, girl, that's not going to happen for this month. Or like, oh, this would be a perfect month to try this out.
Exactly. I loved the key that you said, like being able to pivot. It reminded me, like, even with my year goals, like, that's super cute and all that I did that, but like, one of them was to walk like 500 miles for the year, because at the time that I made my goals, I was like really on my walking grind, and I thought like that was going to be my exercise for the year. But since then, I've like found a love for like going to yoga and Pilates classes. So I'm not doing as much. I'm like, I'm not going to rank up those miles while doing all of that too. So it's like knowing when to like pivot to like cater to your interests and your time and schedule, because it's okay to like change your goals or like change your themes and change your interests. So just kind of adapting your goals to what matters to you.
Yeah, and giving yourself grace along the process.
Yes.
Like, don't be hard on yourself. Oh, I'm not walking. Well, you're going to Pilates. And I think that relates to like the root of your intention, like we were saying. Like, your root of your intention probably had things to do with your health or like your mindset
Right.
or any like physical goals that you had. And so, changing your goal a little bit, it still pertains to the root of your intention, even though like the goal doesn't look exactly the same.
Exactly.
All right. Well, should we spill the tea on how we actually do this?
Yeah, let's do it. I feel like my goal setting process really just kind of depends on what the goal is. Like if it's big or small, I don't know. But I feel like I always start with Pinterest. I'm just always on Pinterest, and it's just what provides me with like inspiration and motivation. Seeing something in like an aesthetic photo just like triggers the serotonin in my brain, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I love it." Like I'm falling in love with my goals. So I love to just, make a board if I have to, or add to my current boards, or scroll through my old boards and just like kind of re-inspire that like fire in me. I do have I'm like a pen and paper kind of girl when it comes to this stuff. Like I tried to get into using my iPad. I know Madison loves her iPad. I love it for other things, but I'm just I like when I'm writing things, I like to use like my highlighters, my pens, and like do it on paper. So I have like my um what is this? Planner. I always use like one notebook for all of like my goals and stuff, just something to like brain dump. I don't even really have a structure to it, just kind of depends on what I what the goal is and like what I want to do. But always start by like mapping out what the goal and intention is. Um, like if I want to set a time frame to it, how I like plan to measure myself, and then writing out steps or habits that I need to like put in place to get there. And then lately, my favorite thing has been my habit tracker that I found off of Amazon. It's just like a little notepad. It has like a bunch of sheets, and you just like tear it off when you're done. I got it off of Amazon. I'll have my storefront linked on Instagram if anyone wants to check it out. But it just has like a spot for your week, a bunch of different lines to write out the specific habits, and then there's a box for each day of the week that you essentially like check off or color in to show that you've like completed that habit. So then you get to like see all of the little boxes that you've colored in for the week. And I also like it because at the bottom it has a spot for intentions and then a spot for conclusions to kind of reflect at the end of the week. And when I first started this, I was like, I want to get to the point where like I have all of my boxes colored in and I have like a perfect week. But I felt like that was just putting on a ton of pressure. And the second I would like miss a habit for the day, I just like, it would make me lose the motivation to just like keep trying because I'm like, I've already like not been perfect. And perfection should not be the goal. So I just use it to kind of guide my week. I'll tell you what I have this week. So I'm just kind of like easing back into some of my habits. So I just have simple exercise, no time frame, nothing, just any sort of whatever feels right in the day. Eating at home. We'll talk about that later. Getting ready for the day. So I find that's really hard when I'm working from home. I like just struggle to like find the motivation to even just like change out of pajamas. Doing my morning and night skincare, reading a chapter of a book. I'm trying to get back into reading, and then taking my vitamins. See, it doesn't have to be anything too big, but a lot of my focus right now is going to be on physical wellness. So that's just kind of to keep it at the forefront of my mind. Yep, those are my tactics.
I love that. We should link your storefront in the show notes of this episode so people can just click it because
I
I
like that.
want the link to that. I'm literally going to purchase that after. I know you showed me before and I meant to purchase it and then I did not.
And I also just want to note too, you don't have to buy something. You could very
True.
well just make this on Canva or in a notebook, but for me it helps to have like something cute and fun. I'm a shopper, so that's keeps me motivated too. But anyways, your turn.
Yeah, we also, I feel like both of us are such visual people. Like, I love physically checking off a box. Like,
Yeah,
and again, I could just write it on paper, but if it's a perfect little grid and I could just buy it, I
I
will be
get that.
buying
Yeah.
it. But I love that. I feel like you're going back to the basics. Like, those are just
Yes.
like things that you should do to feel your best before you can, go crazy with
Mm-hmm.
any like random silly little goals. Those are like really core important
Exactly.
goals.
And like if I can't do the basics, then how like what I don't have a foundation to build off of. So yep. We're just keeping it old school.
So for me, I also like to start on Pinterest. I feel like it just really gets the vibes going, gets the creative juices flowing. I'm just a Pinterest girl. Always have been, always will. And yeah, sometimes, like you said, I'll like make a new board. Sometimes I'll pull from old boards or just like scroll and get inspired. And then I use the app A Journal on my iPad. It has like a little blue icon. It's amazing. It kind of like sets it up like a little planner. So you have different tabs like for the month, for the week, for the day. You can kind of customize them and make them whatever, but that's how I have it set up. So I'll start by doing the whole month and I include everything like the days I work, the days I travel, different appointments or meetings that I know I'm going to have, what videos I'm going to be posting. Like I plan everything for the month just because I feel like that sets me up and it's easier to like not make excuses later in the month. Like, oh, I don't know what to post or like, oh, I forgot that appointment. Like, no, babe, it's all on
Right.
your calendar. Like you got it all right there. So I like to like have that logistically planned out. And then next I'll write down like different intentions or goals for the month. And I like to do a lot of different categories. We're going to do this later in the episode. I don't know if we even mentioned that we're going to actually say our
Oh
goals for the
yeah.
month. Um, but I like to do a lot of different topics or like categories. So it could be like health and wellness. It could be something creative or like a new hobby. I like to have some like more serious ones, like career driven goals, but then also like silly fun ones for my mental health, like making a new Spotify playlist or like reading a new book. Just to kind of mix it up. Then I break it down by week and day just as I go throughout the month. So at the beginning of the week on Sundays, normally I'll plan my whole week, and then I'll plan each day as I go, because I feel like it's really easy for me to set a lot of big goals at the beginning of the month, but then it's really hard for me to like actually keep them at the front of my mind. And I feel like I have a harder time with long-term goals. I just find that they kind of get lost in the mix of everything. And so that's why I like to break it down by week and by day so that I can have like little steps that I'm actively working towards. I feel like the biggest thing that helps me is just making sure to be as prepared as possible in like a act of taking care of my future self. I feel like if you
Mm-hmm.
put in the effort at the beginning of the month, you just make it easier for you like 2 or 3 weeks down the road. So, yeah, I like to keep that in mind and just make everything as streamlined as possible. Like, for example, a lot of the time I make goals around like how much to post on social media and whatnot, because that's like a goal of mine to grow my social media.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to say like, oh, I'm going to post every day on social media or like every day on TikTok this month. But then you don't actually have a plan. And then it's easy to make the excuse of like, oh, well, I didn't know what to post, or like I didn't have a video ready and I was busy that day.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's like, I mean, it's kind of like extra and again, very Virgo of us to plan out everything. But
Yeah.
in my mind, it just like makes things easier in the long run, even though it's a little bit
Mm-hmm.
tedious and extra at the beginning.
Yeah. You're more likely to reach your goals if you properly prepare yourself for like any sort of like, like you said, like you could be busy one day. Well, like you should have a backup plan or like be prepared and like plan ahead.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I like to have it because I nanny twice a week. So if I don't have a video prepped for the day that I nanny, then I won't have
Right.
anything to post. So it's just like important at the beginning of the week to be like, okay, what am I doing? What videos am I filming when? Or like, that's just one aspect of a goal, but you know, it could apply to any
Mm-hmm.
goal. Like, oh, I want to work out, but I work this day. Okay, well, like I'll plan to get up early, or I'll plan to have my gym clothes ready for when I get home. Just like thinking ahead and making it as easy as possible for yourself.
Well, now we can get into our specific goals for the month. We have mental wellness, physical wellness, work, career, finances, and then like creative hobbies, that sort of thing. So we can start with mental wellness. So my goal is to start therapy. Woohoo! I've been, meaning to do this for a very long time, and I just lately have been really struggling with just like different issues that have come up, and I'm like, these are all me problems. And what like triggered this was like, I believe that my personal issues or trauma, I shouldn't make those other people's issues by like projecting them into my other relationships. And I found that like some of my old like traumas were coming up for me internally, and it's time to get on top of those and find a professional to work through them with, and that way I can show up and be like my best self and my healthiest self in my relationships and friendships and all of that. So yeah, I'm found a place that I've been messaging and I'm on the wait list. I should be able to start hopefully sometime this month. So yeah, I'm excited to start that journey. It's so daunting to like have to find a place. If you have insurance, like, will they take my insurance? Will it even be a good fit? Like, will I have to find someone else? It's so frightening. But just doing the first step of just simply reaching out to somewhere and seeing if they're taking new patients, one step at a time, baby.
I don't know why they make it so hard. Like,
I know.
between like trying to find a place, like you said, working with your insurance, it's like, what if this was my last straw? Like, please, people,
Literally.
somebody help.
Literally.
And
And
then
they're
you
like,
go
okay,
through
we can
all of
get you
that.
in 3 months.
Yes, I'm like, perfect, awesome.
Okay, see you then.
And then yeah, and then you wait, you do all that, you wait all that time, and then you're like, this therapist sucks. And then you have to find a new one. Like,
Literally, do it all over again.
oh, please, please.
Seriously, wish
Um,
me luck.
yeah, no, but I'm so proud of you. That's so exciting. And
Thank you.
yeah, that's hard to admit. Like, like you said, I feel like the easy way out is like projecting your issues onto other people or like not taking accountability, but it's hard to be like,
Mhm.
oh, that stems from this and like I actually need to do some hard work on that.
Yeah.
But that'll be an exciting journey for you. I love that.
Another thing I wanted to focus on this month that I kind of started to play with this past month is practicing more intentional gratitude. So before I was going to sleep some nights, I would like silently just like think to myself and recount like 5 specific things I was grateful for that day, and then 5 things I'm looking forward to for tomorrow. And that just kind of like helped ease my anxiety and like try to like when I'm having a rough mental health day to like try and think positively about tomorrow and think positively about that day. So I'd like to try and start doing that every night at the end of the day and make it a habit.
I need to start doing that too. I've gone through phases where I've like wrote written in my notes app on my phone at the beginning and
Mm-hmm.
end of each day, like what I'm excited for and what went well at the end of the day. And it seems so elementary to be like, I'm grateful for this. Like it seems so simple,
Yeah.
but it really does make a really big difference because we don't
Mm-hmm.
naturally, I mean, most of us don't naturally throughout the day be like, I am so grateful for this sunny day. I'm so grateful for,
Right.
my friend, even though like that is really important and we should all be doing that. It's very hard to just naturally be so positive all the time. So being intentional with it is a really good goal. I love that.
Thank you.
Okay, so mine okay, so we all know I moved recently and I feel like I am just my like first coping mechanism is self-isolation, which okay, I'm calling myself out. But I have been actively avoiding people or like meeting new friends. Like there's a couple cutie girls on Instagram and stuff that like will ask me to go get coffee or like people have commented on my TikTok and been like, "Oh my gosh, I live here too. Like we should meet up." I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds so fun." And then I like never follow up with them. So I'm going to stop doing that because I've recognized the behavior and I'm not going to continue to sabotage myself. So my goal is to go on 2 coffee dates or like just maybe lunch dates, whatever. I just said coffee dates because like that's normally my go-to. But 2 coffee dates with 2 potential new friends this month, which will be
I
fun.
love
I'm excited.
that. That
Yeah.
will be fun. You should update us on the pod whenever you do.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I have a couple prospects in my mind. And I'm gonna just send them a little DM, shoot my shot. Like the worst,
Period.
well, they're not gonna say no, they don't want to hang out. Like,
Yeah.
but the worst that could happen is that they're like, ew, no. And I'm like, okay, well,
It just like
anyways, I don't
falls
even
through.
know you. Yeah, like whatever. No skin off my back. So yeah, I'm gonna shoot my
Yeah.
shot with a couple cute girlies and see if I can make a friend. And then my second one, I just want to take like my mental well being more serious overall. I think we're on the same page
Mm,
with this. We're like
right.
just in a period of growth with our mindset and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a good place for me to start will be taking like 5 to 10 minutes in the morning to just think of what I need to do to have a good day or like what I need to do to have the best day because I find that my anxiety is highest in the morning, right when I wake up. And of course, I normally just reach for my phone right when I wake up, which is doing me no favors. Like, I think a lot of it stems from feeling unprepared for the day and just feeling like overwhelmed by everything that I have to do. But if I take 5 minutes in the morning to be like, okay, here's the plan, here's my priorities, here's my intentions, here's what I'm going to do, that always helps and it makes it feel like less scary. I think a lot of the times we like build it up in our head, like, oh, we have so much to do. Oh my gosh, it's such a busy day. But then you break it down and you're like, okay, I have plenty of time to get all this done.
For sure.
Um, yeah, so I definitely want to make a point to do that every morning rather than just like going on TikTok and checking my notifications because that just is anxiety inducing. Like, why am I doing that to myself? Okay, and then to go along with that, I've mentioned it before, I'll expose myself again. My screen time is sickening. It's not good. It's not good for my brain. It's rotting up there. I can feel it. So we're gonna put a stop to that this month. And if my screen time, listen, I'm giving myself a little extra too. Like this is already too high. But if my screen time is not under 6 hours every week of this month, I will throw my phone into the nearest body of water, and there's a river right by my house, so it will be going in that river.
Okay.
But yeah, I gave myself a little bit of grace because, like we said before, I work on my phone. I like edit videos, film stuff. It adds up. But six is more than enough to work because I also work on my
Yes.
iPad. I'll be fine. Um, and yeah, I've been thinking a lot recently. I watched Emma Chamberlain's podcast. She had on a some sort of doctor or like psychologist of some sort, and they were talking
Mm.
about like social media and dopamine and
Mm.
dopamine detoxes or whatever and things like that. And they were talking about how you don't realize, like Emma was saying, she has a podcast on in the morning. She goes on her phone throughout the middle of the day. She goes on her computer to work. Like she's listening to music. It's just all stimulation constantly. And so I think
Mhm.
I'm going to try and like, I don't always need a podcast on. I don't always need
Right.
music on. Like sometimes it's okay, just silence. Just put your phone in the other room. Don't hear it. Don't look at it. Don't touch it. So yeah, I think that's going to be my vibe for this month.
I like that. That's cool. I like the
Hmm.
idea of lowering our stimulation.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm really depressed, I'll just drive around and I won't even play music, but that is pretty calming.
I do that, especially like when I used to have a job in customer service. I worked at Starbucks, a little over like probably 2 years ago now, but that is the most overstimulating job you could possibly have.
Yeah.
Like, it's so chaotic. And I remember like pretty much every day after work, I'd just get in my car, wouldn't turn on any music. I'd just sit in silence. And that was like my healing time.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I didn't really even think of it because a lot of times you think like podcasts are educational or like, if you're watching a
Mm.
video, like you're learning something or you're keeping up with somebody that you care about. And it's just like, that's cool. But sometimes we just need to just silence.
Yeah. It's healthy. I love these intentions for us and I can't wait to see how we feel.
Yeah, we better have like our brain better double in size by the end of this. We're taking such
Literally.
good care of our mental health.
I better be cured of all mental illness.
Okay, so our next category is physical wellness. It's finally nice out. It's like in the 70s or 80s every day. And I really want to try and go on a walk every single day, like at least 30 minutes, whether it be just like a walk around my neighborhood in the morning or walking to a coffee shop or the grocery store or whatever. I walk a lot, but some days, especially when I'm like working from home, I will just maybe not leave the house at all. But I do always have 30 minutes to spare, and I love walking outside. And especially like now that it's sunny, just getting a little vitamin D.
Mm.
It just sounds fun, and that's important to me. So I do want to go on one walk every single day. And kind of along with that, I also just want to feel stronger. I do a lot of walking and cardio and such, but ever since I broke my wrist at the beginning of the year, I haven't really been able to do like Pilates and yoga like I used to, just because like I can't even do a downward dog because my wrist doesn't bend that way. And that's not okay. Like, I really need to work on the mobility of my wrist and not use it as like an excuse. And so 3 times a week, I want to do just like at home, or maybe once I start feeling a little bit better, go to a class. Because yeah, I used to love going to Pilates and yoga classes, but now I feel like I'd have to modify a lot of the poses. And I just like, for some
Right.
reason, that's kind of embarrassing to me, even though it's not embarrassing at all. But I just don't want to be like, I broke my wrist. Like, so yeah, I want to work my way back up to that and just start with 3 times a week, just at home. And then my last one is not really physical wellness, but it is a physical aesthetic goal. My mom gave me when I was in town for the weekend. I don't know if you guys have seen like the new face and U face microcurrent devices. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah. I don't even really know the science behind them, but basically they're supposed to be like good for your skin and like, I don't know, it like tightens your face instead of like getting Botox or whatever. It sends like microcurrents into your face. And people have really good results with it. And I was thinking about getting Botox, but this could, do it for me. So I want to do it every single day to see the before and after. I know it's silly, but I want to try it out.
Yeah, let me know how it goes. You know I'm
Yes, of
interested.
course. I know. I wanted one of those machines for so long, but I think they're
Mhm.
like $300, $400 or something. And I was like,
Yeah.
I want it, but like I don't really want to buy it. And then randomly my mom was like, oh, I have this thing that I haven't used yet. Maybe you would like it. And immediately for some reason I was like, is it a microcurrent thing? And she was like, I don't know. Let me go get it. And then it was. I was like, oh,
That's
give me
so
that.
funny. I'll take that. This is kind of my biggest focus for the month. I really struggle with this. Like, I feel like I've never had a full month where I felt consistent with like eating well and moving my body, and not even in like a perfect way. Like, I'm not trying to set like unrealistic standards for myself, but just like, even, I don't know, like my period will happen, or I'll get sick, or like I'll have a bad mental health week, and like I'll just completely fall off like my habits that make me feel good. So I want to be fully consistent the entire month of June, and it's very doable. Many people do it. So I just my intention is kind of just to like prove to myself that I can show up and like put in the effort for myself, and that like I'm worth that effort. So yeah, I want to eat a lot of my meals at home. I was finding I was eating out a lot, and when you eat out, sometimes you don't really know what's like in your food, and you just don't have as much control over like what you're eating. And I find that I make better food decisions when I'm at home in terms of health and just like what feels good in my tummy. So I did delete the Uber Eats app because that was getting intense. So no food delivery, please. And then I also want to exercise like 4 to 5 times each week. Just kind of depends on what's going on, but that's definitely doable as well. But yeah, exercise is kind of tricky for me right now because I did love going on my walks and all of that, but it's already very hot here in Phoenix, and I'm just like honestly afraid. Like, I don't know if you had heard of the girl that was attacked hiking in Scottsdale within the last few months. I won't go into detail. I know like that's a very triggering news story, but essentially it's caused me to be even more afraid of like hiking or going for walks outside, because you just don't know who's out there, who's watching, if anyone is there, if anyone's following you, or if you're just going to cross the paths with the wrong person at the wrong time. And it's just like, just scary. So I don't know. I'm just trying to get more creative on like working out from home. I've been getting into a lot of different workout YouTube videos. Oh, I wanted to say, before I got sick, I found MadFit's like dance party videos, and I did like 4 of them or something in a row, and I was just like dancing in my room like a fool, and it was so fun, and I had never like sweat or huffed and puffed like that. But that was a fun little cardio workout to do at home. Her little dance party videos are so fun. They're like themed. There's like a One Direction dance party, K-pop, like 2000s music, a bunch of fun little themes, and she just does like these like kind of dance like cardio workouts, and it was a vibe. So highly recommend.
Yeah, I do some of her other videos, and I think, did people really like those videos in quarantine? Was that when they became a thing?
Yes, that was like a big, yeah.
Yeah. I never tried one out, but I saw everybody posting them. But that does, the One Direction one, when you said that, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
so I will be looking that up right after this.
No, like I was going hard.
Yeah, no, I can't think of a better time. Like, that sounds impeccable, really. Well, I love that. And I will be checking, let's check in with each other, maybe each week,
I like
keep each
it.
other
Yeah.
accountable. We can fill you guys in at the end of the month. Maybe we'll do a whole episode or just like a little check-in segment. But yeah, I know you mentioned in the past, what is it called? You read it in a book. It's like your accountability
Oh, your
people.
mastermind group.
Mastermind group. Yes, we're all each other's mastermind group. So
Yes.
I love that we're doing this because it gets everything out in the open. I feel like you can plan everything just by yourself, but it really does
Mm-hmm.
take it to the next level when you share your goals with somebody else, and somebody else can like keep you on track as well.
We should sometime start some sort of like group
I
where
was just thinking,
the
how
girlies
could
that
we
want
do
to
that?
join. Yeah. I know some people do
I
like
know
Facebook groups,
Geneva.
but
Have you heard of Geneva?
no,
Really? Oh, I know
I
like the
haven't.
CMOS girlies, if you follow that meme page, it's like a wellness page. They always post about their Geneva group, and people can just like join different Geneva groups, and like I think there's probably like a little chat room and you can like organize events and such. And I don't know what if just anybody can make a room or something, but we should definitely
Right.
make one
Yeah, we're gonna look
so we
into
can
that
chat.
and we'll keep y'all updated because I would love for us, we could create our official mastermind group together. Worldwide, baby. For me, finances wise, so for my payday Fridays in June, I've got 3 of them. Let's go. It's a 3
Ooh.
paycheck month for me. So if I don't have an extra $1,000 in my savings from like that extra paycheck, I need to be bullied, severely bullied. Like, you need to make me cry because it's just like, it would be unacceptable. I just like, and that's the thing is like, I have a good job and I make decent money, yet my savings depletes. I'm not really sure what that's about, but yeah, I need to like figure out what's going on there because I just need to, it's just like practicing, I don't know, financial literacy. Like I lack that, so I would like to get on top of it. Anyways, and then in terms of like career and stuff, I like took a step back from TikTok in the last month. I didn't even mean to. I'm not even sure what happened, but I'd like to get back into posting. I really enjoy it. So I'm not going to maybe set parameters, but just like do it when it feels fun and just kind of like get myself back into that grind. And then I also want to focus on like podcast marketing research and just like seeing how we can take this to the next level. You know what I'd really love? We got to
Tell
get
me,
an intro.
please.
We got to get an
You're
intro
right.
music.
I
Calling
know.
all creatives. We need
Yes.
intro music.
Who can make us a little beat boop beat to start off our
Yes.
episodes? Let us know if you have any leads on that. And now's the time. Like, now we've gotten the groove
Yeah.
of things. We need to, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, take it to the next level. We're comfortable where we're at, but we can level up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Apart from the saving money, all of these are pretty fun. So, we can't complain. And the saving money, we're just going to have to, again, hold each other accountable because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
with money, it's a category that you can physically see how far gone you went throughout the month. Like with like working out or something, you can be like, oh no, I worked out here and there. Like there's no like actual proof if you did or you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
With money, like you said, the savings is depleting. Like the proof is in the pudding.
Yes. Numbers don't
And
lie.
numbers don't lie. They are most definitely telling the truth. And sometimes that's hard when you log in at the end of the month and you're like,
Mm-hmm.
"Whoa. All
You know what's
right.
bad when
Well,
you're avoiding your bank apps? Like I like all weekend I
yes.
was like, it's not my business right now.
Yeah, no, it's not my business. Not going to look."
Mm-mm.
And sometimes ignorance is bliss. But yeah, we got to change something.
Yep.
We can't be this frivolous.
You
Or
know
we
what they
can,
say?
but there will be consequences.
Yeah. I was gonna say nothing changes if nothing changes. So that's kind of my
Yes.
motto. Oh, and the idea of like the time will pass anyways. So why not
Yes.
start your goals now? Even if it takes a
Mm.
long time, that time's gonna pass anyways. So you might as well have like worked towards something that you cared about.
Yeah, those are both such like simple quotes, but for some reason they hit me every time. Like I'm like,
Literally, I'm like,
whoa.
my
That
brain is at max capacity.
yeah, that and I've seen people post this like your habits throughout or I forget exactly how it's worded, but basically like your how you spend your days is how you spend your life. Like
Ooh, okay.
that is your life. Like every day, the habits that you have, the things that you do, that's adding up to
Yeah.
how you spend your life, which is shocking, but so obvious.
Yeah. That one didn't make me feel so good.
Yeah,
I'm
right?
queasy.
Like,
Yeah. Gotta think about some things.
yeah, but that's why we're doing this episode to reflect and to grow. And
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
sometimes growth is uncomfortable. It's hard. It's
Mm-hmm.
sometimes a little bit embarrassing to look back
Yeah.
on what you've done. But that's what we're here for, to make you embarrassed about your actions. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, our last one is kind of a fun, silly little category, random hobbies, creative endeavors, things of that sort. Do you want to go first?
Sure. Um, I had like a physical hobby, which I guess I could have put in the physical section. But I don't know how I'm going to get into it, but I really have gotten like the itch to try and start running. Like it just seems like something I would enjoy once I like build up my momentum and my stamina, but again, it's hot out and it's scary out there. I don't think my walking pad can get up to a running speed. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to manage that one, but that's an aspirational goal of mine. But hobbies, I want to get better about bringing my film camera with me everywhere I go. I really enjoy taking photos and getting them developed. Cooking has been a new hobby inspired by Laura. She's such a good cook, and it's been really fun to like cook together. And then baking. Brandon has been in his sourdough era, like we said. And like watching him do it, I'm like, wait, I want to do that. Like when I saw him baking, I was like, making his sourdough, I was like, wait for me. Like, I want to come over and bake it.
Mine are, I want to try two new hobbies outdoors. In Colorado,
Mm,
the people really be doing the most crazy stuff you've ever seen. Like, we went to a park the
I
other
bet.
day and people were like, it looked like a circus. Like, they had like they were juggling. Like, I was like, what is going on? But it was a little group of people. They were all doing it outside together. I was like, okay, slay. Like, there's just so many different options. Or people will like, the other day I was walking to a coffee shop through a park and people like had a full volleyball net set up just in the middle of the park and they were like having a game.
All
Like
right.
people really just do their little activities outdoors and I'd like to dabble in a couple. I'm not sure exactly what, but I would love to go to a tennis court and play a little
Mm,
tennis. We had a pickleball era and that was really fun. But to
mm-hmm.
switch it up a little and like try something new, maybe we could do tennis. I also would love to take my basketball skills to the real hoop. I'd like to see if they
Let's see
translate.
it.
Yeah. And just like go mess around at a basketball court. I think that's so fun when you see people like shooting hoops with their
Mm-hmm.
buddies. It just seems so fun.
It does seem
So
fun.
yeah, just like play a little game with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was also inspired by when we were in Arizona, I dropped Ben off with his little skater friends. They like all met up at one spot and they were going to go together to different spots. And they had just like a soccer ball in the park. Like one of them just had a soccer ball and they were like kicking it around together. I'm like, that's so pure and wholesome. Just like getting together
Mm-hmm.
to play with your friends, like kick a ball around and run around. It's just like little hobbies that you can do outside that are just silly and fun. Other ideas are like maybe trying to skateboard a little bit, just like ride around. I've always been super scared of it, but like I'd like to be able to keep up with Ben. Like if he wants to go somewhere on skateboards, I could just like push. I'm not trying to like do a
Yeah.
kickflip, please don't get it twisted. But I would like to just like confidently be able to ride around
Yeah.
or going on new hikes because there's tons of
Mm-hmm.
hikes in Colorado and I've been on I think literally only one. So it'd be fun to find like some new little trails or little hiking areas that we could go to. Just get outside overall and have fun with
I
it.
love it. I'm
Yeah.
jealous. Should I move?
Yeah, come on down. My last goal, which, oof, I'm going to say it, people.
Grand
I'm starting
finale.
the grand finale. Drum roll, please. Um, I'm starting a YouTube channel and I'm going to be in my vlogging era. Woohoo! The first like social media that Emma and I did was YouTube way back in the day. And I want to
Mm-hmm.
get back to my roots. It's like
Yes.
just, I haven't made videos for years and years now, but it's always been something that like I've missed over the past couple of years and I feel like now is a good time to start. And I feel like my life is like decently exciting, so I could just, vlog my
For
days and
sure.
bring you guys along. And I feel like along with the podcast, YouTube is like a really good way for people to actually get to know you. Like I feel like you can't really get to know
Right.
people that well on like TikTok and Instagram, but I feel like you can share more on YouTube. And it's just such a fun, like creative project to always be working on a video. I just miss it so
Mm-hmm.
much. So this month, I'm going to get it in the works and I'm going to start it.
I cannot wait. I can't wait to be like a little side character in your YouTube channel. It'll be cute.
Yes.
I've always said this and I stand by it. Like your life and like interests are just like everything I would ever want in a vlogger to watch. So I'm just so excited.
Yay. Thank you.
You're
It's also funny
welcome.
because people still, like, I literally got a DM like 2 days ago of somebody being like, oh my gosh, I used to watch your YouTube videos. I loved your
Yeah.
thrifting videos with Emma. Like, specifically, it's always the videos
It's
with
so
Emma. Like,
funny.
we're such a little dynamic duo.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's funny. People will comment on my TikToks and be like, wait, I think I recognize you from YouTube.
I love
And
that.
so, yeah, it's been like people have been popping up and it's just made me
It's a sign.
yes, it's made me feel like it's a sign to start again. It's what the
Yeah.
people want. So I'm very excited.
I'm excited too. I can't wait.
Thank you, thank you.
Uh, I I have to admit I was not in like the best mindset and mood this morning, but this helped me kind of pep up and like feel more excited about the future. So hopefully some of y'all listening kind of got the same feeling and motivation, and I just hope everyone has a rockin' June.
I knew it'd make you feel better. Emma texted me this morning
Yeah.
and she was in a little bit of a funk. I was like, well, let's
Yeah.
hop on the pod because it always makes us feel
Yes,
better.
ma'am.
So
It really does.
truly, yeah, thank you guys because, you know, this is so fun and we love it.
Mhm.
And also thank you to my dad. Shout out dad. He asked for more motivational goal setting manifesting content. So that's why we made this episode today.
Shout out
This one's for
Chris.
you, Chris. But we do love talking about this. As you can tell, we can talk about this
Mhm.
forever. So we hope you guys
Literally.
enjoy this like more motivational content. And let us know what other episodes you want because we love the suggestions.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening and following along with our goals. If you want to follow along with our personal lives and just, keep up to date with the podcast, you can follow us on social media. Our podcast is at bandpractice.podcast. It's all linked in the show notes.
Thank you guys for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.